This first video shows a man sitting in his room making faces at the camera, while an AI face recognition filter is on, and the filter is detailing his gender, age, and expression. We then see the door behind the man open up by itself, and the filter detects another face with details that read woman under gender and angry under facial expression. It also seems to show an impossible age of 560 to 565 years. The video ends with the visual of the man looking like he just saw a ghost. Literally, how would you react in this situation? This video starts with someone showing the visuals of an abandoned site. The video has a ghost detection filter applied to it as the person recording it attempts to find a ghost in this abandoned site. A few seconds into the video, we see a shadow-like figure pop up on the screen. The filter reacts to this shadow and detects an evil ghost that is 37 years old. When the person recording the video realizes there is a ghost in his presence, he is seen running to exit the abandoned site in a hurried manner. That's where the video cuts off and we are left with so many questions. How did the filter know the age of the ghost? Is this even authentic? Even if the filter was wrong, there is a clear shadow that can be seen. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Our next video is of a TikTok user attempting to partake in a trend that had gone viral, where an AI manga filter was able to detect ghosts. The video starts with the user's cat acting unusually around the area where her mirror is placed. She then uses the AI filter, which shows her a figure leaning into the mirror. After that creepy first attempt, the user gives it another try and once again detects an entity, this one even creepier with multiple legs. When her cat starts acting out again near the mirror, the user applies the AI manga filter again, and this time, the filter detects a girl right behind the mirror. The video continues with another attempt, where the filter once again identifies a girl standing right by the mirror. To solidify her findings, the user applies the filter for the fourth time on the same spot, and this time she sees an entity facing her wall while taking a peek at her cat. The video then shows the cat going to hide underneath the bed, and the user, applying the filter again, spots something looking right at her from under the bed. At the end, we see her applying the filter for the last time when her cat is staring at the ceiling, and this time she spots what she calls an evil figure in the air looking at the cat. Now this is weird. If this filter is real and can detect ghosts, what we just witnessed is bone-chilling. What do you think about this AI manga filter? Is it real or just another way to make a viral product? A point to note is that animals are known to see ghosts, and the filter detecting paranormal activity at the exact spot the cat is looking at does raise some questions. Speaking of the AI manga filter, our next video comes from YouTuber Sabrina Bell, who goes deeper into the authenticity of the filter by trying it out herself.
I decided to pull out my phone and try out the AI manga filter.
She starts the video off by giving some context to the viewers about the filter and the eerie encounters people have had using this filter, stating that she finds the filter to be really scary. Sabrina included an incident shared by another YouTuber named Melanie in her video as well. Melanie states that her boyfriend was sleeping on the couch next to her, out of nowhere pointed at something above him saying, "Watch this." However, she says she saw nothing there. This led her to try the filter. When she did, the first attempt showed her a pair of red eyes and total darkness. The next attempt revealed a girl sitting on the floor. In the last attempt, the filter shows her a girl directly behind her phone camera. Sabrina then goes on to say that she also tested the filter out herself multiple times. She first tried out the filter by pointing it towards the closet in her room where she claims to have had paranormal activity. The video then shows a TikTok where Sabrina, who is on her bed, has the filter on towards an open closet, and the filter detects a girl with a missing leg. This freaks her out because she states that she is always hearing stuff in the closet. Furthermore, Sabrina also stated that the filter showed a lady in her room with a missing eye. This creeps the YouTuber out because she states that through her psychic abilities, she found out that there is a woman with a missing eye in her room. However, this detail is only known to her, and it is not possible for the filter to know about the missing eye, yet it was detected on the filter. Creepy, isn't it? Further into the video, Sabrina goes to stay in a hotel where she tries the filter out again. It shows Sabrina pointing the camera towards her phone, has a TikTok video playing where we can see the AI manga filter on, and the video is filmed in the hotel's bathroom. At first, the TikTok shows a girl sitting on top of the vanity, then Sabrina switches locations and the filter detects a girl sitting by the window and another woman standing near the vanity. Sabrina's claims in her video might have convinced me a bit that there might be some truth to the fact that the AI manga filter can detect ghosts, which is scary to think about. What are your thoughts? Are you also wondering what the real truth is in this filter? Our next video is beyond understanding and terrifying at the same time. The video starts with the user stating that a facial recognition filter can only pick up triangulation of the human face, hinting that anything the filter picks up is a human face. We then see footage of a dark, empty room where the filter recognizes a face in the painting. It also detects a face on something standing by the door. The video then zooms into what looks like eyes and a mouth. After looking at that clip, it could be argued that maybe the filter picked up on the wallpaper in the background and detected it as a face. However, the next clip in the video shows another dark room which does not have the wallpaper anywhere, yet the filter picks up on something and detects a face. The last clip in the video shows another room that is almost pitch black, where we see a clear face in the top right corner, which the filter detects as a human face. It also detects another entity by the door. The video then zooms into the faces and we can clearly see two pairs of eyes and two mouths. Now this one might be a hoax, as the rooms are pretty dark, and the wallpaper might be causing an illusion in some of the clips, but the faces seen are quite visible. What is your opinion? Maybe this facial recognition filter did in fact pick up on a few ghosts, that too in an old mansion, one of the most common places you can find ghosts in. The last video doesn't directly show you an AI program detecting paranormal activity. However, it shows you how AI can lead you to some really eerie places. We're going to discuss a video that comes from a YouTube channel called Ghost Theory. It follows two paranormal investigators who go to haunted and abandoned locations to ghost hunt. Such is the situation in this video as well. However, this time they decide to ask AI to find a haunted location near them and use AI to assist them in finding information relating to the hauntings. The video shows the two of them asking AI for abandoned houses near their area. This leads them to the Horf Forest, as AI tells them about the haunting of Blackbrook Hollow. Furthermore, in an attempt to spot some ghosts, the two men end up in the Horf Forest. While they try to find the house that AI initially told them about, they come across another abandoned house. They asked AI for more information about it and found that it belonged to witches. They attempted to find some paranormal activity there, but nothing came of it, and they had to leave as someone guarding the area had spotted them. However, the two did not give up and went back to the forest later in the night to find the Blackbrook Hollow haunting house. As they made their way towards the abandoned house, they heard some people talking and the noise of a dog. In a forest with nobody around.
Some people talking. And I mean, we are right out in the middle of bloody nowhere. There's nothing around here apart from that.
They claimed that they felt like they were being watched in the forest. Towards the end of the video, the paranormal investigators find the house of the Blackbrook Hollow haunting and attempt to find ghosts there. This may not be a direct sighting that AI caught, but it does show that AI is not only capable of spotting creepy entities, it can also take you down a path where you can find scary creatures. If you liked today's video and want to watch more, like this video, Also subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on more scary stuff. Now, I have seen a good number of scary footages and creatures on the internet, but this one still gives me goosebumps every time I see it. Crawling right out from under the bed, this creature was caught on camera in the most twisted form imaginable, with a human head and a face that may or may not be human. This is scary to watch. Its movement and limbs are bent in such awkward angles that it shouldn't even be able to move, but somehow it still manages. The question of what messed up creature could this be? Is it the boogeyman that we have been told about from childhood, or is there a new monster under the bed? This next footage could have been anything, but I have never seen claws or a palm like that before. The lady was spending her afternoon alone at home when she noticed some disturbances coming from the ceiling. She heads to the door but sees nothing. She goes back into her apartment and starts to record to see if she would see anything, and then it happens. What could have such well-defined fingers and nails that big?
My gosh. Oh my gosh.
I have seen some comments with people referring to it as a raccoon, but to be honest, it was really scary to see in the first place. This just goes to show how crazy some corners of the house could be. The fact that a creature like this could just be casually living above you sends shivers down the spine. If nothing you have seen so far has scared you, then I am certain that this next footage will. Recorded from inside the home, the person behind the camera was visibly shaken at the sight he saw looming over the vehicle outside. As crazy as the imaginations get, I can't fathom out what creature this could be, floating over the car like a ghost with its beady yellow eyes directed straight at the recorder. This footage gave me goosebumps. And what was that sound coming from it? A sound that sends shivers deep into your bones. And so far on the internet, no one has been able to explain what this creature might be. Some people have theories saying that the video is fake and no such creature exists, but what do you think? And if you were in this situation, would you record such a scary creature? Ever wanted to buy a creature you didn't know much about just because it looked cute? Well, that is the case of these guys who bought a fish off the dark web. But to their surprise turned out to be more than they bargained for. What in the sea creatures is that? It has tentacles like an octopus, but in no way moves like one.
Yo, I hear Chester screaming. Anyone check him. Chester, what's wrong? What's wrong?
There's something in my bed!
What?
Something
What's wrong,
bit me!
bro?
Something bit me!
What are you talking about?
Slithering around their home in the dead of night like it has a motive. The way it moves up the stairs is just so unnatural, as though it is crawling and grabbing.
Yo, what is that thing?
What is it?
Dude, what? It's a fish! Let's go! Where's this thing going?
It makes this slimy sound as it moves. This is by far the creepiest thing I have seen on the internet in a while. A lot of stories go around about ghosts and getting ghosts on camera, but this footage shows the CCTV of the backyard on a casual night. Same as always. But then just around the corner, a white orb appears and floats across, resting on the table before floating over the fence just as it came. That is some very scary stuff right there. What could that orb have been? Was it a ghost? Or maybe some mythical scary creature that the camera could only capture as an orb? Some people might be of the opinion that the white orb could be dirt that went across the camera, but to that I say, why did it move in such a way? It clearly rested upon the table before finally floating away and never coming back. To me, this is just one of those moments where technology caught the mythical unaware. Now, if you still have your doubts about ghosts, then you need to see this footage. What seems like a calm day turns mysterious when chairs start to move around on their own accord. Take a look at this. The car didn't just move slightly, but it moved all the way across the hall and positioned in a certain way. How would you explain this if not for the existence of ghosts? Then yet again you can see the chair bend as if sitting pressure has been applied to it. This is just really crazy to me. Why would the car move that way and position in such a way as if to say the ghost was looking straight at the camera? The owner of the house has complained that on several occasions he has arrived at home and found chairs shifted from positions he left them and was convinced that it was kids. But after this footage, he is convinced that there are ghosts or spirits in his residence. In the early hours of the morning, the trucker was driving into the site near Sunchild First Nation Reservation, northwest of Rocky Mountain, House, Alberta, Canada. He didn't know that there was more to it than he ever imagined. While driving into the site completely missing it, his dashboard cam caught a creature lurking in the woods. A scary, large Sasquatch-looking figure with beady eyes staring right at him as his car drives by. This is incredibly terrifying to see such a creature casually in a working site. The man eventually packs his truck, and only when he stepped out of the car did he notice the creature. He immediately gets back into his car and zooms off the site in fear and panic. Do you have any idea what this creature could be? And why was it lurking around on a construction site? These questions we might never get answers to. In this next footage, what seems like an already tragic event of a tsunami takes a different turn as a scary creature appears out of nowhere, further escalating the whole situation. In the footage, we see a creature white and only barely visible leap out of the water and hop onto the gate trying to escape the tsunami flood. Somehow on getting to the top of the building, the creature seems to disappear into smoke, vanishing almost as it came in the first place. To date, no one has been able to explain how the creature came to be or what the creature is in the first place. Investigations have also been carried out to ascertain if the footage is real, and so far, all evidence point to the fact that the image is real, but no one can yet identify the creature. Do you know what gruesome monsters are lurking around in the sewers? The slimy and disgusting sewers have been believed to be home to lots of creatures that you can never imagine, and this footage shows one of such creatures. Just lurking at the left corner is a creature that is unidentified, frightening and outrightly scary with its huge beady yellow eyes and distorted figure, staring at the camera as though it means to attack. This is just one of the scary creatures that lurk in the sewers, and trust me, there are more. No one has been able to identify what this creature is to date, and it probably still roams free in the sewers as we speak. Now, this next footage is not just scary but might prove that there are other dimensions that we do not know of. We see a figure more like a speck change shape and location in this next footage captured during the day in a quiet neighborhood. The figure too fast to see moves across the frame changing shape and almost immediately vanishes the same way it appeared. On a closer recap of the video, you can see it change shape and move across the street to the other building. It disappears for some seconds before reappearing again across the street. On getting across the streets, it seemed to have gotten bigger from where it vanished into thin air, leaving no trace that it was ever there. What explanation could there be for this? Was it a creature from another dimension or maybe an alien? All I know is that this is one of the scariest things I have seen caught on CCTV. Which of these clips chilled you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, stay vigilant. Subscribe for more content like this one. Our first video comes from a YouTuber called Dr. Hannah Straight. She starts off the video by telling her viewers she saw something last night.
I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm not going to disclose where because I don't want a million people coming out here trying to figure out what I possibly...
She then went on to say that the night before, she was sleeping in the camper above her cabin when she heard someone going through her stuff. In an attempt to not alert whatever or whoever was rummaging through her stuff, Hannah stated that she did not make a sound and kept very still. Furthermore, she said that when she took a peek outside, she saw a huge thing standing by her cabin. She also says that there is no civilization near her, so there was no way that thing was a human being.
And I swear there was like this huge thing standing there going through my stuff. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. There's no way it's a person. I'm miles from civilization. I always lock my doors at night. I must have forgotten. He must have heard.
According to the YouTuber, Whatever creature was there heard her moving and off into the woods. She states that after the creature ran off, she exited her camper and found a bin of her stuff on the floor with food all over and the car door open. Consequently, Hannah decided to stay another night and find out what exactly the creature was, on camera. Further into the night, Hannah is sitting in her camper talking to the camera about the unidentified creature. She states that she has the top of her camper closed off in case there is some sort of danger and she has to quickly leave the site. As the video continues, we see Hannah waiting to spot the creature. The end of the video shows footage of a creepy creature on 2 legs running through the woods. This leads to Hannah stating that she has to go and the video ends. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think the creature was a bear? Or Bigfoot like Hannah claims? Our next video was posted on the YouTube channel, Appy Mountain Trekkers. The video starts with the YouTuber making his way further into the woods to start his solo camping adventure and settle in. The video shows him setting up his camp in the woods. He then shows himself doing various activities to set up, puts on the fire, and while waiting for dinner time, he is seen carving a spoon. While doing so, the YouTuber says that he heard strange noises from the top of the mountain.
Hearing a strange noise up on the top of the mountain. I can't figure out what that is. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it sounds like some kind of, almost sounds like a bird, but it doesn't.
However, he says that he couldn't figure out what the noise is from, stating that it might be a bird but it doesn't sound like one. As he continues to carve the spoon, he stops to hear what the sound is again, but he couldn't figure out what it was.
Of course it quits. I'm hearing things.
He then says, maybe he's just hearing sounds. As nighttime rolls around, we see that the YouTuber eats his dinner and is now preparing to go to bed. The next clip shows him telling the camera that he headed to bed at about 9 p.m. and he was almost asleep when he heard a sound he had never heard before.
Alright guys, we'll give you a quick update. It's about 10 after 10. I laid down about 9 o'clock. And I was trying to go to sleep. It took me a while and I was almost asleep, and sometime before 10 I was woke up.
He says that he heard 4 very quick, very loud, deep guttural calls on the ridge behind his camp. He states that the noise scared and rattled him. He also says that it sounded like a mix between a pig, an ape, and a velociraptor, like how they would communicate with each other in the movie Jurassic Park. Further into the video, he tells his viewers that it's 1 a.m. and he has just heard something circle his camp, which he goes out to see.
It's about 1 o'clock. I woke up again. I heard something circle my camp.
He walks around, showing the woods. We then hear a shriek-like sound, which the video text states is a deer call. The next morning rolls around and the YouTuber tells his viewers that even though he's been camping for a very long time, last night was very unusual for him, saying he's never experienced anything like that. Furthermore, he says that when he got up in the middle of the night, he heard some movement in the woods coming from the opposite side of where he first heard the calls. He also states that he heard at least 2 different entities or animals. The video ends with the YouTuber leaving the woods with his gear. Let us know your thoughts on this down below. Would you go on a solo camping trip, not knowing what lies beyond the thick and dark trees? The next video we're going to talk about shows that even deep in the woods, away from civilization, creepy human beings will still find you. This video comes from the YouTube channel Hike Slam, which highlights the hiking and camping experiences of a man named Phil. Just like all his other videos, in this video Phil goes on a hike in the woods in Virginia and decides to camp there. As the video moves forward, Phil updates his viewers about the hike and how nice the weather is. Moreover, he says that he spotted some trash as he was walking along the trail. The trash was unusual as he noticed that there is some weird writing on the trash.
Some writing on some of this garbage?
As he keeps going towards the campsite, he spots rocks with more creepy writing on it, some notes with weird writing, more trash, and a dead duck.
And there's a dead duck here.
Furthermore, he also spots a long note nearby, which he claims looks like it was put there recently as it wasn't wet. Phil spots a campsite not very far from where he found all the notes and creepy things. He also hears fire crackling nearby, so he assumes that whoever is camping there is the one who wrote it. As Phil makes his way towards the shelter, he states that he spotted 2 women who were hiking in the opposite direction of him. They then asked him if he had seen the guy who was leaving the notes, to which Phil told them about spotting his campsite. The women were shocked that Phil was still planning on camping while the creepy man was in the woods. They asked him to accompany them to their car. As they were scared, Phil agreed and walked with them. When he reached his car, he decided it would be better to camp elsewhere, away from the weird guy. He drove up into the woods in the opposite direction and chose to set up camp there. Everything after that seems okay in the video. Phil sets up camp in another shelter, makes himself dinner, and enjoys the quietness of the woods. During the night, Phil decides to check out the logbook from the shelter he was staying at. As he goes through the logbook, he spots writing that looks exactly like the one from earlier on the notes and the rocks.
From the guy that was on the other side of the river. That's kind of scary. Kind of weird. Those women down there said they were going to call the police on the guy.
The writing says very weird things about being incarcerated in jail. It contains Bible quotes among other things. Phil reads through the writing and gets creeped out. Moreover, when Phil goes into the shelter to pack up and head into his tent, he spots the top of a bottle cut out with more creepy writing on it. Towards the end of the video, Phil tells his viewers that he's on edge and keeps looking out towards the hill near his campsite in case anyone is heading towards him. However, at that time, he says there is no one around except for animals. The video ends with Phil saying that he packed up his stuff and was heading back to his truck because he heard someone near the shelter. He claims that it was just some guy, like him, who was exploring the woods and wanted to come, but Phil was done for the night and decided to leave. Cryptic writing, gloomy woods, and unidentified creatures all together sound like a recipe for disaster. What would you do in such a situation? The last video we're going to talk about is another example of how terrifying humans can be. This video was uploaded on a YouTube channel called The Hoggart Project, which showcases the camping adventures of Travis Jake. The video starts with Travis trying to find a spot that is flat so he could set up camp. Eventually, he does find a good spot where he begins setting up. He also explores the nearby area to see what is around him. Moreover, he sets up the fireplace and tries to settle down for the night as it had gotten dark. Travis then goes on to say that when he wasn't recording he heard a loud thud noise, but brushed it off as some old rotted logs settling. Moments later, we hear a loud branch snapping noise in the background. This occurs twice.
And I don't think I was recording earlier, but something made a heavy sound over there. Could have just been some old rotted logs settling. But up that way, a couple miles, there is a camp. But I don't think anybody's hiking this way back down. Anywho.
At first, the YouTuber thought that the sound might have been made by him, but he wasn't sure. This incident made him feel on edge and he looks over to see where the sound is coming from. He then hears a sound of a branch snapping again. Travis goes to explore and see where the noise is coming from. The next clip is a voiceover of Travis explaining what exactly happened in the woods that night.
50 feet, I hear a couple more loud crunches, and that's when I stand up and I just shine the forest. Of course the noise has stopped, and I'm guessing whoever it was, it found a good spot to lay low. I didn't see any eyes blowing back, didn't see any movement, other than I did see a bat. But definitely that is not what made the loud noises.
Travis claims that he assumed, since the noise stopped, that whatever or whoever it was had found a place to lay low, and since he didn't notice any movement, he thought he should just head back to his camp. He thought that maybe since he is near the creek, and that's where animals come to drink water, the noise must have been from that. Travis then states that since it was really dark and he just wasn't feeling it, he was going to pack up and head back. Before heading back to the road, he decided to take a look again in the area near the creek, and that's when he spotted someone dressed up in a camouflage outfit standing on the side of the road pretending to be a statue. Travis thought that the person might have been sneaking up on him. He then proceeds to call him out, but the person doesn't respond. Subsequently, Travis just leaves the campsite. This proves that humans are much scarier entities than others. What do you think? That's it for today's video. Please like and subscribe.